It's Heim time once again in the Truck Series. Cleetus McFarland has a quote humbling top 10 at Charlotte, and could we see a Days of Thunder 2 remake in the works? Welcome back to the Breaking Bob channel. Hope y'all are doing well on this Friday night, probably Saturday morning by the time you're watching this. It's late, but got a lot to get into as, of course, the biggest weekend in racing here in America is finally upon us, Memorial Day weekend. We've got Kyle Larson doing the double and a lot to get into. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing here at Breaking Bob. We're always talking NASCAR and racing on a daily basis. But we've got the appetizers before the main event on Sunday. We've got Arca and trucks to talk about, plus a major NASCAR movie could be in development. Let's start, though, with the checkered flag flying just a few minutes ago in Charlotte. Is Cory Heim once again? It is Heim time. It is Groundhog Day. Once again, he just dog washes the field there and leading 98 laps tonight. This time, though, found a way to win. He was, quote, in the way he said it in the front stretch interview, I was far enough away, nobody could take me out. You always wonder, Cory Heim's the dominant car after winning stage 1, stage 2. How is he going to lose this one? What was the field going to do to take it away from him? But no, dominant performance tonight by the Heim team there. And again, I said 98 laps led tonight. He has led 40% of the laps led for the 2025 season. The entire season, he's been in front for 40% of the season in the Truck Series. I mean, the dominance that team and Tricon has shown, the speed for Cory Heim, just really coming off of last year, we were already expecting a big season for Cory Heim, but the way he's done it already this year, the poise already in the young Toyota development driver, it's impressive to say the least. And again, everyone's wondering, he's reportedly committed to the Truck Series again in 2026. What more can he do in the Truck Series at this point? I'd almost rather him run in Sam Hunt Racing equipment in the Xfinity Series just to see what he looks like in something like that next year. But I don't know. Again, just dominant performance from Cory Heim tonight. On the other side, though, Nice Motorsports with 3 trucks in the top 7, led by Ross Chastain, the Cup Series regular, with a P2 finish behind Cory Heim. And he even said, you're racing against the class of the field. We didn't have anything for them tonight, but it was big for the team to be able to bounce back and show the speed consistently, competitive speed. That's the biggest thing for that team moving forward. To get 3 trucks in the top 7, that's massive for them. A quiet Kyle Busch in 5th in the Spire Motorsports truck, and it just seems like ever since that first year where they really took over the notes from KBM, Spire's just not quite the speed that that KBM had. And part of that may be a manufacturer change, but I think part of it is just, I think those notes from Kyle Busch Motorsports may have changed the last few years. Inspire, I think the gap from the field has definitely shrunk for sure. I think at this point, Kyle Busch showing a 5th place finish quietly tonight, that just shows that the truck speed is not there for Spire. And BJ McLeod in 15th. A lot of fans were excited we were going to get loud for McLeod, but 15th place, he was having splitter issues, it sounds like, tonight. But unfortunate for him getting that one-off Spire Motorsports truck entry this year. Fairly straightforward for the trucks at Charlotte, and that's what it needs to be. This is a series right now that is riding a high. Maybe, yes, it's dominated by Cory Heim, but the racing week in and week out is really strong, and it's come a long way from years ago when you say, oh, it's the Truck Series, it's Truck Night in America. Really impressed with the Truck Series in 2025. I think this season has been very, very strong to start. And on the Arca side, because a lot of eyeballs once again on Arca, and of course, Cleetus McFarland, we'll get to him in just a second, but let's give props to the winner, Austin Green, a legacy driver in the NASCAR world. Of course, his father, David Green, 1994 Xfinity Series champion. Now he's part of the officials team with NASCAR. You can tell as a proud father in victory lane. And Austin Green, the 24-year-old in his 2nd ever Arca start, he's been getting limited opportunities every now and then. You'll see him in road courses in the Xfinity Series, sometimes in the Truck Series, but his 2nd ever Arca Series win, or 2nd ever Arca Series start and getting the win. He's shown speed in anything he's gotten into. He may not bring the sponsorship, the funding. He's got some connections, obviously, with his dad, but a great story for him tonight to lead 52 laps, a race high, especially at his hometown track in Charlotte. Impressive win for Austin Green tonight. Congratulations to him. That's a great story, and for the Green family overall. Maybe a shock to some, but Will Kimmel on the pole today at the Arca race and led the first 12 laps, and then heartbreak for that team blowing an engine after leading the first 12 laps. He was leading coming to lap 13, blew the engine. That was it for him. One of the other cars that was really fast, Wallace, he was the one that inherited the race lead then from Kimmel and then got caught up in a restart wreck where Cleetus McFarland, who was running top 10 all day, and then lap 38, they stayed out on that caution incident. They put him out there on the front row, P2, on old tires, and he spun the tires on the restart, stacked up the field behind him, causing multiple cars, including Wallace, to get damaged, really throwing that 18 team behind the gun all day. But for Cleetus McFarland, it happens. Like, again, this is his first mile-and-a-half oval track. He even said after the race, he was really apologetic for how it went down there. He said, this is a humbling experience being on this mile-and-a-half. He said, so much tougher than Talladega. And I said in this video a couple of days ago, and I got some flack in the comments from Cleetus fans saying, he's going to go out there. He's a wheelman. I'm not discrediting him, but it's a learning curve. And this is one of those things where you have old tires. You spin the tires on the restart. Every Cup Series driver has done it. Every Xfinity Series driver. And we've all given them slack for it too. It's just part of the learning curve there. You're going to take your bumps for it. And luckily for Cleetus, it wasn't completely ruining his day. His car was able to make it fairly clean. I mean, it was definitely taped up on the front end, but compared to some of those cars, it was able to finish 9th place. His best finish in the Arca series, beating Talladega by 1 with that 10th place finish. So back-to-back top 10s for Cleetus McFarland in that 30 team. He said he plans to be back for the Bristol Arca race in the fall. We'll see in between them if he fills in his schedule with another mile-and-a-half or anything like that. But it's great for the sport. It is. The eyeballs he brings in, it's a unique audience for sure. Maybe people that may not be necessarily watching NASCAR, especially Arca, are paying attention now because of Cleetus McFarland. It's a great story there. And again, these learning curves are going to happen. It's criticism, but it's constructive criticism. I say all NASCAR drivers do it. It's part of the learning process. So let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think about Cleetus on his mile-and-a-half oval debut tonight? I was thoroughly impressed, though, overall, all things considered. And finally, a little speculation to end the video, because one of the most classic NASCAR movies of all time, Days of Thunder, Tom Cruise. It's a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. It's a classic, of course. It really was kind of the early point of NASCAR's right before they got into the heyday of stock car racing. Fans have been wondering for years, would we ever see a potential remake of it? And then Tom Cruise, of course, one of the last true Hollywood actors in the business, with his Top Gun Maverick remake coming out a few years ago, that really got a lot of fans thinking, could we see a Days of Thunder remake potentially float out there? It's been rumored for years. It's even been rumored in the NASCAR camp they would be open to it potentially. Well, Adam Stern threw gasoline on a bonfire that was the Days of Thunder 2 remake, saying that, well, there's a lot more to it. And not only that, Tom Cruise went on Today Australia, where he was doing his Mission Impossible 3 press tour, and basically straight up confirmed that they're looking at potentially a remake of Days of Thunder 2, along with another Top Gun remake. But this is the first time Cruise has actively talked about a Days of Thunder remake. I mean, that is something, if he's talking about it, clearly there's something to it. And Stern later acknowledges in his story that this is gaining traction among the most influential and biggest parties involved that need to be greenlighting this project. So not only that, this is coming off the heels of the F1 movie that's about to roll out, with Jerry Bruckheimer, of course, producing that. He was, like I said, part of the Days of Thunder original movie. Could we see him join Tom Cruise in a Days of Thunder 2 remake? One of the most iconic racing movies that holds up to this day. The cars do, the movie itself, yeah, there's some parts of it that don't age well, and it definitely shows it, but overall, it's still one of the best racing movies that I think, and I think most racing fans can agree on, has been made to this current day. But let me know your thoughts down below. A Days of Thunder 2 remake. Tom Cruise confirms it could potentially be in the works. Plus, we've got Cleetus McFarland with a humbling top 10, though still impressive nonetheless. Cory Heim, what can you say? Just dominance once again for the 11 team. Plus, we've got Xfinity tomorrow, Indy 500. The Wieners, I could have done a whole video on the Wiener race, but that was a great spectacle there. It could have been better than the 500 potentially on Sunday, although hopefully those Wieners cleared technical inspection there. Roger Penske probably had one of those just souped up a little too much. But regardless of that, let's wrap this up before we get too off the rails here. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video if you like what you saw here at Breaking Bob. I'll be here with more content throughout the weekend and weeks to come here. Stay tuned for more. See you next time here at Breaking Bob. Thanks for watching.